getting big things out of Defunct. We might see that slightly more defensive side to Original as well. Laxar maybe try to get a little bit more involved here, but game number 1 is going to be underway here between AIPX Gaming and White Rabbit Gaming, and hopefully going to start on the front foot here.
Yeah, there we go. We are underway indeed, and obviously it's going to be a bit of a crazy minute, as we've mentioned before, the feel minute, where everyone has a check about how the teams perform and how they are. So here we go. WeCasper gets a clear off his backboard into the centre field. The shot does come towards net, but it will not be anything too harmful for now. 60 boost and a dribble, but it will be lost by Kino, and the ball will be cleared out once more. But already you do see AIPX Gaming trying to mount the pressure onto this White Rabbit Gaming roster.
Yeah, it's a positive start in that regard. It's going to be the opening goal as well for Laxar. He looked to get a second touch onto that ball. He doesn't, but it's enough to bait in the defenders, and as a result, no one actually really in net there for White Rabbit Gaming. Will take the goal, will take the lead. 1-0 the scoreline in game number 1.
Yeah, it's already starting to go very, very well for AIPX Gaming in game number 1, as we've mentioned. So it could actually follow through with what I said, that if they want to take any of the higher spots, they would need to go and sweep 3 games in a row. And, maybe that's possible. Maybe that's not so unrealistic after all. As so far is so good in game number 2. The ball is taken away again by Blackstar. It's going to be followed up by Defunct, but he will not get a touch. It just comes off the crossbar. That we have Original keeping himself nice and composed on the side. No rushing play, just wants to take the touch and move the ball out as smoothly and as easily as possible. No one is panicking on the team. I think that's why they do so well. They do not panic. They play a game of chess. They play a very smart game as well. They don't want to rush into anything as well. Rushing into things just causes too much unnecessary panic and problems. But there, though, they might be caught out. Defunct gets a great save. And so far, they are performing very, very well. That was nearly dangerous. Oh!
It is a goal back in the end. A little bit of pressure coming through from White Rabbit Gaming. Friction with a lethal shot comes back out the post. AIPX just not quite able to recover to that one. 3 players try to turn in towards that ball. Will be an equaliser here. Deserved, you would say, for White Rabbit Gaming, as AIPX just didn't quite find the positioning on the defence.
Yeah, that is right, and they are, I'm happy with them. I'm happy, but I do think that they need to really, really pick themselves up a little bit in this performance. Go for more goals, and then we can start to say about the sweeps. I think I might have spoke too soon earlier on, but here we go. Kino's on the ball again. He's looking to get the ball into the middle. 2 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock. He's dribbling it. Oh, and he didn't let go of it. And Friction will follow it up and cause some friction in that net. 2-1. Kino kept the ball on his course so beautifully and took it and carried it all the way to the backboard, dropping it down to Friction. And the game is flipped completely on its head, and White Rabbit Gaming take the lead.
You start to wonder if previous series may actually have been slightly a bit of a problem for AIPX Gaming. Coming out of that scrim looking quite hot against White Rabbit Gaming, going in up against not much of a fight really in the end by Legends. It may have just slightly cooled them down. Of course, that little bit of downtime between the series as well. It's not quite as hot a start as we would have liked from the AIPX Gaming boys, but find themselves on the offense here. 2 players have committed though, and unfortunately Original is not going to be able to push on that ball. That's a shot, that's wide, and that follow-up's not going to go through either. Big chance there for AIPX to tie up, not taken.
Yeah, that is true indeed. It was absolutely madness in there. Oh, and the shot again, it's just not on target. AIPX, though, they are finding the pressure that they need. They are finding the chances to get back into this game. Obviously, it's only 1 goal they trail with, which is very simple to come back for a team who could score 11 in 1 game in the series before. So let's see if they can do it here in game number 1. Defunct taking it in. Here's Lightstar looking to get a pass down. Taken away though by WeCasper. The ball's followed up into the centre once more. No shot can be found. It will be cleared away. Again, good touch back forward. It's going to be to Defunct. Defunct takes a touch as well. Just a bit too far. I think it was meant to be a pass, but in the end didn't fall off. And right now it's only 1 minute and 16 seconds for this team to get themselves a goal to get back into this game.
Yeah, doing all the right things, but just unable to connect on that final touch, that final shot, and unfortunately find themselves still down by a goal. Positive signs, but ultimately you need to be converting to get anywhere. You drop down again, but beaten out by Casper, who's going to shoot. He's given too much time on the edge of the box. That is going to be a 2-goal lead for White Rabbit Gaming. All the pressure from Apex coming to nothing, finding themselves 2 goals down.
Yeah, they are, and 55 seconds doesn't give them a lot of time to work with here. They need to move fast if they want to get this game won back under control. The kickoff is won by Kino, and it will be now Defunct's job to get the clearance. He does get the touch out. It'll be put right back into the centre there, and it'll be cleared away. Friction gets a touch forward. Lackstar keeps it off onto the side. It's going to be into the middle, though, and it's dangerous, and now they will trail with 3 goals because weak Casper will put in another goal and punish the Apex Gaming players yet again in game number 1 of series number 2.
Yeah, messy defending in the end there. It's not a great touch or clear from Lackstar. Defunct just finds himself a little bit too central to the net. He's jumping, he's trying to reach backwards, try and cover as much of the net as possible. Ultimately, it just gives it over to Casper to just put the ball borderline wherever he wants there. As long as he finds a way past, there's no way Defunct's got to have the momentum to get there to make a save. And for what had, positive moments, a good start getting the opening goal as well for Apex, defensively it hasn't gone so well for them here. And again, it's this issue that they had against Legends in game number 1, where they just weren't even able to convert as many shots as they should have been, given good chances and ultimately not taking them. 4-1 in game number 1. It's not the start to Series 2 that we were hoping for.
Yeah, and after the first goal went in for Apex, we did think that they had it under control, but then it just sort of went back on their heads and maybe they got too confident and they need to now regroup and make sure they don't make the same mistakes again. Get themselves back forward. They can't be losing 4-1 to a team that they know they can beat. They have it in their hearts. They've seen it in the scrims earlier on. They just need to pull it back out and to make sure they can really perform in game number 2. They can't be affording to lose this game. They want to take it all the way. They want to finish top 2 in this event. So let's get them there. They need to start now, don't they, Solar?
Yeah, it definitely needs to turn around pretty quickly here. And if they can get the opening goal again, perfect. That's fine. We've not got an issue. But it's just those chances that were being missed that were showing slight cause for concern. And I think as a result of that as well, just defensively, they didn't quite align their rotations up. And again, I think that may just, not to give them an excuse, but the previous series where it was such a blowout, a 5-0 win in game 1, 8-0 in game 2, 11-2 in game number 3, where they weren't nearly quite as tested. It's not exactly the ideal warm-up coming into this series against White Rabbit Gaming, who again are lower seeded but have earned their right to be in this winners round, where they are 1-0. They have swept their previous opponents in Team Espionage, and you've got to be on your game to beat teams at this level. You can't just expect to coast it through any series.
Yeah, and as you said, they scored enough goal in the first series that they could have scored for the whole tournament. That was an incredible amount. Maybe they've run out of goals, but hopefully that's not the case, and hopefully we can see the same Apex we've seen before in the same scoring ways. Default getting a good clearance out there. Lackstar not being able to get his touch. It will be augmented, or original. Sorry, getting the touch there, and he will clear it away. Here comes the Funk looking to play the pass into the middle. He's got 70 boost on him as well. Lackstar goes over the 50. It will be played off the side by Augmented, and it fell into. They're just not finding that last touch. It's always the final ball, I think, is the problem at the moment.
I think Defunct has a really, really good chance. If he connects to that ball, he's got 2 players sat under him and a 3rd player just waiting for that corner boost. He puts that on target. It's as good as a goal, but it's just those pressure moments that can define a series. That's 2 players committing on the same ball and neither making contact as well. It's these little moments at the moment for Apex that are causing them problems. It's through their own fault as well. They've just got to try and settle down a bit They are down 1 game in the series, but it's currently 0-0. They don't need to get so panicked about the current stance of proceedings. And this is a counter on now. Defunct, quickest to that ball. Hits it up off the ceiling. Original gets there, but can't beat Friction. That's a demo from Casper. That should be a goal here. And it's going to be AIPX looking to counter and caught out themselves.
It's unfortunate, but it's sloppy, and it's something we know that they can do better. They just need to do it themselves and figure that out between themselves. They still got half a game left to go here. Still a lot of time for them to get a goal. They just need to work it so that they can get a couple of goals, get themselves more comfortable again, and just regain to what they had previously. And a good pass across there from Original. He's going to get a second shot on that as well. Puts his towards the backboard's going to drop right back down, and no shot comes in from Defunct. He's just not been able to reach the ball. I think Defunct's not having the greatest of games at the moment. He wants to get those shots on, but as well, to be fair to him, it is quite an awkward shot and angle to hit. But no, it's not in a great position again as well. It's a finger biting game, a nail bite game.
Yeah, I mean, again, a chance to counter there, but not a lot of boost in the tank. Defunct misses the touch. It's left to Lapstar, who is struggling to even catch up with the ball. He's using boost and a wave dash just to try and get it. That's a lovely shot there from Friction, turned away. But AIPX at the moment, architects of their own downfall. They're rushing things when there's no need to. And then there's a lack of urgency in other scenarios, and head's just not in the game at the moment. Just need to settle in. That's where you're looking for your captain to step up, be the voice of reason. Just settle your teammates down and realise that you are only down by a goal, you are only down by a game. It's not dire straits at the moment. And ultimately, even though you don't want to, surrendering the series in Swiss stage isn't going to be the worst thing in the world. It's another silly mistake though. 2 players go up, neither make contact, and it's just the simplest of finishes.
Yeah, I think the last game has really took them off the cards. It's put them off the races. It seems like they're just having a bit of a mental breakdown on the field at the moment. It's not looking too clean, and there's going to be a fair, the goals that are getting conceded on them, they're not, amazing goals. They're just, I don't even know the word for them, to be honest. I don't know what you call these goals anymore. It used to be the norm, and now it's more not seen. But they just need to really, really improve and to take a moment to breathe and think, okay, what are we doing? Let's process what we're actually going to do in this game. At the moment, it just seems like they're coming in with no game plan. It's not working for them.
Yeah, I mean, it's sloppy at best at the moment. They're not quite... They're just not playing with any form of sensibility to them. It's just this panicked state that they're constantly in. 3-0 down, 30 seconds go. Can't see them taking game number 2 here at AIPX. So it's going to have to be a reverse sweep here to go 2-0 in this bracket. And as it stands, I just don't see it happening. And it's not that they don't have the quality. I think they've shown better displays going forward than White Rabbit Gaming have, but White Rabbit Gaming haven't had to work for their goals. It's been silly errors from AIPX that are giving these goals up, and otherwise they haven't had to display anything. AIPX, to me, are the better team in this on their day.
But the day's not today.
It's just silly. They're just giving up goals.
Yeah, it's very... It's interesting to see. I don't, there's no real cause for it per se, and we all know the players can perform better than this. We've seen the players perform better than this previously, and when you can hammer a team that are lower than you by that much, compared to any other team, they scored the most scores, I'm pretty sure, in the first round. So it's like, okay, we scored loads of goals then, and now we can't seem to score a goal at all. They need to find the rhythm. It just looks like they're not thinking about, they're not playing with a purpose at the moment. They need to play with purpose, play the ball with purpose as well, pass the ball around, try and get more goals. It just seems like they're just hitting the ball and not really knowing where it's going to go or what you're going to do with it. And they need to take an extra second to process what they're actually planning to do, where they want the ball to go, where's some best case scenarios, things like that. So hopefully now they can wake up. They're 2 games down. It's the do or die game for them in terms of winning or losing the series. Let's hope they can bring us some joy in game number 3.
Well, 5 minutes to figure it out here for Apex Gaming. Find themselves 2-0 down in the series, 1-0 down after 6 seconds. Friction, former Apex Gaming player, will open us up in game 3, and it's messy once again here from Apex.
Yeah, they have a defense very, very wide open, and it's not going well for them at the moment. They need to really, you know, buzz up and jump around, but, you know, I'm not too sure what to say anymore. I've run out of things to use as excuses for the guys. It's now time for them to stop playing. That's a great pass on, nearly there, nearly we had something that we needed for them. I think a goal would be great for them right now. I think it would give them a lot more confidence. Maybe it's confidence after the first and second game. You know, maybe now it's confidence, but they need to do something. They need to change something differently, because otherwise it will just end in a sweep on them, and that would be such a very bizarre, unfair result.
Finding themselves down by a goal, 4 minutes to go. No chance here for Rigel. Doesn't get up quick enough, and it's cleared out by Friction instead. Good read from Laxar, who I would argue is maybe had the better game out of the 3 players for Apex at the moment, but Anonymous is not exactly the stature that you want to have, and if that's your best player at the moment, then things not looking particularly good for them. Defunct try to get a 50-50 through there, 0 boost in the attack. Laxar is up, looks for the double. Originals committed to, neither can convert. Once again, they have to go back. It's this communication issue at the moment for Apex, that too many double commits, too many mistakes, not enough, just that little bit of patience. Yes, that is Laxar's ball. Could he double tap that? Well, we saw it wasn't going to go in, but if Original waits for his chance instead of going up for that ball, the follow-up is on. No. And talking of waiting, that's what they've done there. They've gave Casper too much time once again. No one commits to that challenge, and you can just pick his spot. 2-0. Apex are just lost at the moment.
Yeah, you sometimes have these games, you know, it's just one of these games. They've lost the mentality, and now I don't think they have the mentality. They're just going to try their best. That was a really good run there, to be fair, and it's things like that they need to be fast on. They need to be faster. They need to get that in the net. And it was a great pass down, Laxar, bang, got to be there. Split second thing, it's got to go in, because that is the most you're going to get against a team like White Rabbit Gaming. They are very, very strong, clearly in defence, and you know, you need to find as much as you can get on them, and you know, the fact that only 1 goal this series has been scored on White Rabbit Gaming says a lot about their playstyle and how they play, and they rely very well on their defense, which is fair enough. And when you've got a team like Apex, who seem to be more of an aggressive team, that is what they need to start planning to do. How do we get rid of this defense? Demos are probably one of the easiest ways, right? Demo the keeper, but they haven't really gone for many demos as of now, this Apex team. So maybe if they adopt some demos into their playstyle, they can open up these guys. But you know, they've only got 2 minutes to do it now. It's too late to change it up, I'd say.
Yeah, you need someone in that voice call to be trying to giving ideas, saying how do we open this up, asking the question, you know, having that discussion just to say, right, what are we doing wrong, how can we break down this defence, because at the moment it's too one-dimensional from Apex as Laxar goes up, and again, follow-up's too slow, Defunct is shut down, no one able to keep that one. It does stay in their half, but again, it's not quite enough at the moment with 2 players waiting. That's going to be a third. It may well be able to call this. There's 1 minute and 38 to go, but Apex just there's no plan.
Yeah, it's not looking amazing at the moment for them. I can definitely say that it's becoming a very sour situation for these players, and they need to get over this loss, because it looks very much to be a loss at the moment. There doesn't look much going for a win. It's not like they're 3-0 down with 1 minute and 20 seconds and they've been unlucky. It's been they're 3-0 down with 1 minute and 20 seconds and they have deserved to be 3-0 down with 1 minute and 20 seconds. They need to change up something. I can't tell you what it is. Obviously, a coach would do a better job than me at doing that, but they need to work it out very quickly with their coach, with the captain, whoever needs to go in there and speak to them. But there's going to be a 4th goal, and it's just at this point. Oh, and never mind. At this point, White Rabbit Gaming are just going to take the mic a bit. So there you go. 46 seconds, 3-0. It doesn't look like there's any movement in this game from now on.
Yeah, I would say if they did get a goal back now, then there's a light at the end of the tunnel. But White Rabbit Gaming have set up well. They've looked to frustrate, and they've done just that. 1 goal for Apex Gaming in 3 games, a total of 15 minutes of gameplay. They haven't scored for, let me see now. It's way, never mind. Okay, it was about 13 to 14 minutes of gameplay, but to go back, a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel, but there's got to be a kick-off goal here.
There has to be, yeah. In 5 seconds, they've got to score. Literally 5 seconds, what they have now. I think until not the greatest kickoffs though. He's got the touch though. Oh, that's good. Oh, it's just, you know, it's so typical to happen. Now I don't really see much happen. They've left it way too late, you know, to find that goal. They needed to find that 10 minutes ago. Really, would be the best time to score it. But yeah, that will touch the ground, and that will be a sweep onto Apex. I mean, that was a very interesting game. I did not expect that to happen. I'm pretty sure you're on the same wavelength as me, Solar.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I expected at the very least Apex to take a game out of that one. I mean, I predicted 3-1 Apex to win that one, and there was a lack of fight. There was a lack of, you know, that cutting edge at the end as well to really, you know, put the chances away that they had. There were chances, there were opportunities, I think, most namely in game number 1, as game 2, game 3 sort of went on, they sort of couldn't quite find that pressure, and I think it very much seemed like a mentality thing as a result, because they opened well and they had chances in game 1. The fact they couldn't convert them, the fact they couldn't break down White Rabbit Gaming, you could really see that it was playing on them, and it was affecting how that game was going.